Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Have you ever heard someone tell you there's no such thing as a stupid question? That's something you have to believe in, especially when it comes to you attending your child's IEP meeting. In today's video, I wanted to talk about 10 different questions you should ask at every IEP meeting. This is me talking directly to my fellow parents. Your child deserves the best, and you should definitely make sure they're getting it. So let's get into it. So I did write some notes because there's a lot of things I wanted to discuss today. I'm hoping it doesn't take too long. The purpose of this video is to just let you know that you have a voice. You can ask anything you want, express any concerns you have when it comes to your child's education. So these questions might be a little mixed in, whether you've been to an IEP meeting before or this is your first time going. So I just wanted to share some of my questions I would ask as a parent if I were going to an IEP meeting. The first thing, if you've never been to an IEP meeting, I would ask, why am I here? What's the plan for my child to succeed? Did I come in here because they're having behavior issues? Did I come in here because they're having issues learning or they have a disability? They could be nonverbal. It's so many reasons why you could be attending an IEP meeting, and that's the first thing you want to know is why are you here? There should be a special education teacher in the meeting, a general education teacher, the caseworker, the speech, OT, and PT therapist is possibly going to be in the meeting. So you want to get everyone's feedback of why are you here and what's their plan for your child to succeed that school year. The second question I would ask is, what is their biggest concerns for your child on a daily basis? Could it be transitioning from a classroom to a gym? Is it their communication skills? Are they not using their textbooks as often as they should? Is it anything that they have concerns about your child? You should discuss that and find a plan moving forward how to make that better. It's also a time for you to express your concerns you have for your child, whether you're at a restaurant, at the playground, or at home. Are there behaviors you're experiencing and you're wondering, are they experiencing the same thing in the classroom? So this is a time for you both to discuss your concerns, to come up with a plan so they can succeed. So this is a big one for me. What services is your child being provided and how often are they receiving them? Now this, when it comes to services as an OT, PT, and speech, or maybe a one-on-one individualized education plan, you need to know what services are being provided, how often they're getting done every week, how long, whether it's 30 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. You want to be very cautious of that so you know exactly what they're supposed to be provided, what you found in the IEP meeting, and what is actually implemented during the whole year. I focus on this because a lot of parents bring their kids to school and we want them to trust us. We want them to trust us and know that we're doing everything we can to keep your child safe, make sure they're getting what they need to do, make sure they're eating, make sure they're interacting with their friends. But when it comes to services, that is something separate alongside of the regular day-to-day in the classroom. That's something they get taken out of class to get services that need to be done, and they're brought back. They're taken to either a room, maybe the OT or PT might push in, maybe speech will push in the classroom, but you just want to make sure they're getting those services. So if you're not on top of making sure it's getting done, whether it's 30 services during the school year, maybe it's 10 services during the school year, you want to make sure they're getting it done. So you want to make sure, you want to see, like, did they have their services today? Did they skip it? They were absent. Can they make it up? Make sure if they're supposed to get a service one day, they're able to make it up before the end of the school year. Don't just let it rock and be like, oh, it's fine. Like, no, this is what's in the IEP meeting. This is what needs to be followed, and this is what I signed for. Next question. What can you do at home that will help your child succeed in school? And they might give you a lot of different suggestions. And this is not just for a child that has IEP. This can be for a general education student that's struggling with multiplication facts. The best thing to do is get home and practice those multiplication facts using flashcards, using games, using apps, whatever you can do at home to help them be better in school. So they might suggest something like they're having trouble transitioning. So maybe it'll be nice to have like a visual chart at home where it says the daily schedule, like first we eat breakfast, then we get dressed, then we go on the school bus. So they'll give you ideas to help your child do better at school, better at home if they're struggling at school, just so everyone's on the same page and everyone's supporting each other. Another question I would ask, depending on your child, you would want to know, how often is your child interacting with general education students? So there are some classrooms that just have special needs children, some classrooms that have mixed in general education and special ed children inside the classroom, which is great because they all can interact. They can see everyone's different, everyone learns different, everyone plays differently. So I would ask a question: how often are they with different kids? And this is a great thing to know because some parents think that if they're in a special education classroom, they're only going to stay with those kids, which could be like 6 to 12 kids in a classroom. But no, there's lunch, there's recess, there's specials. They have gym, music, art. So they're always interacting with different people. They walk the halls, they see different people, they know how to behave. So that's a great question to ask because you don't want to think that they're secluded because they're different. We're all different and we all learn differently. So your child most likely is with different kinds of people all day long. So that's also a great question to ask. Next thing I would ask is for your caseworker's number, extension, and email. And I say this because a caseworker is technically supposed to be an advocate for your child and their IEP. So they should be your go-to person if you have any questions, anything you're concerned about. They should be your go-to person and they should be available to you whenever you need them. Now, I understand we're all busy, we have things to do, but at least shoot them an email. Say, hey, can we have a phone conversation, or, send whatever your question is in the email. But definitely have your caseworker's information and the teacher's information, just because these are people that should be advocating for your child and should be able to answer any questions you have any day. So I know this isn't just in education. In a lot of different areas of work, people tend to like to read from a paper. This is this person's name, this is what they can do, these are their strengths, these are their weaknesses, and it's all written down formally on a paper. You would never know if a teacher or anyone in the meeting has even ever met your child. They have a paper that tells them exactly what your child does, where they're at, what they can and cannot do, and it's all written very formally, which is great. You want to have this saved for the state, for the school district, if they need it, fine. The question I would ask is informally. Can you tell me how my child is doing in class? Can you tell me what I can do to help them do better? Not just reading off a piece of paper. Because if the teacher is there and they know your child every single day, they don't need the paper to tell you exactly what it is. They don't need that. So reading off a paper to me in an IEP meeting is not necessary unless there's data in there that you really have to discuss. But ask them, what is going on with my child? You can always tell the staff members that really know your child, and you can tell the ones that are like piggybacking off of what someone else said, or have their paper in front of them and constantly looking at it to see what to say. So I would definitely gear towards the people that actually know your child and can really give you an honest opinion of what to do and what they need to do to move forward. So lastly, what you can ask is, if this plan isn't helping my child in a few months, can we get back together to reevaluate what can help them? This is something you can absolutely ask. It's your right, it's your child. Say, hey, it's October. I don't want to wait till June to have another meeting and my child is not doing well, they have not progressed. Asking you have in a couple months, in 3 months, why not have another meeting? Or again, a phone conversation. This is why I say keep up with the case manager, get their info to see what's going on. And if you need a meeting prior to the one that's scheduled, you can get that. How will you know if the IEP meeting is actually being implemented from now until your next IEP meeting? This is not just a question, this is me speaking to you. How do you know it's actually being implemented? What's going on? Do you see changes at home? That's like, oh, they're doing a great job, they're improving. Is home life the same exact thing as school life? How do you know? As a parent, I will say constantly keep communication with your child's teacher, with the caseworker, with the services providers to make sure everything is being met in your child's IEP. Don't let 9 months go by and nothing has happened. Be productive, be informed, and keep checking in. Keep checking in to make sure everyone is doing their job. The whole point of the meeting is to discuss your child and what we can do to better assist your child. So ask all the questions you need to ask. Write them down before you leave the house. Let them know you have many questions in between the meeting, at the end of the meeting, and possibly when the meeting is over. Let them know you're involved and you want to be involved in your child's education. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.